Does Hansi Flick actually know what he's doing? That's the big question. Germany's results not being anything to write home about. Is World Cup glory out of the question? Or does this major nation that normally comes good in the major tournaments take home another major prize? Germany find themselves in a really weird place at the moment. And by that, I don't mean geographically. I have no problem with Germany. I think it's a great place. I've been to Berlin several times. Actually, have a stag do at Hamburg. Any of my German brethren out there, hit that like button. Subscribe, yeah? But their squad and their recent results leaves you wanting more if you are a Germany fan. Again, Germany fans, let me know how you're feeling about this squad going into the tournament. They've struggled somewhat in recent months, and there seems to be a tension around the squad heading into Qatar. Despite the team on paper having some brilliant players to call upon, their big hitters don't always perform, and you never know which players are going to turn up on the day with them. So what can we expect from Germany in this tournament? Well, Germany for years have been associated with mental toughness and fortitude. But is this still the case? You'd expect it to be, with the core of this Germany team being made up of serial winners and big characters. I'm going to question that. In the Nations League, they drew 4 of their 6 matches, as well as losing 1-0 to Hungary. I know England lost as well, okay? I know that, right? But we're not talking about England right now. We're talking about Germany, before you'll get very angry at me. And they lost to this Hungary side that are a team that make it tough for you, and they lean on their physical approach. And with star players not really turning up for them, there might be a hint of fragility in this squad. I think the question mark with all of the results in the Nations League is, how bothered were all of those players? And also, how tired were all of those players? I think that is a question mark on all of it, but the results don't lie. But there was a fragility to this squad as they sort of felt the pressure put on them, and not only by their past as a footballing nation, but also the success that is expected from them every single time they put on that shirt. So who is going to be the player that steps up for them? Well, we'll dive into the key players in just a second, but let's talk about the formation structure and tactical approach. Hansi Flick has tested out a few different formations during his time with Germany. Initially, he started off with an attacking 3-1-4-2 that didn't have any true wing-backs in it. However, this tactic was quickly shelved in qualifying after losing at home to North Macedonia, you'll all remember, and nowadays it's almost certain that it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 as his sort of formation of choice, and a formation that Flick feels the most comfortable with himself. This is a formation, of course, that he enjoyed a lot of success with at Bayern Munich. The 4-2-3-1, it's made up of 2 holding midfielders, with Kimmich's spot nailed on, of course. The secondary pivot position is up for grabs, with Flick showing a little bit of love to Gundogan and Goretzka as well, so 2 strong options that offer different things. And it feels like a headache for Flick as he tosses and turns between which midfielder he prefers in that position. Gundogan offers more technical ability, more of a sort of calmness in his play, also that ability to sort of make a run into the box at the right time. On the other hand, Goretzka offers a physical presence in the centre, and he also works extremely well for Kimmich for Bayern Munich. The German national team has always aligned with the football methods of Bayern Munich and always features a core of Bayern players in its ranks, which makes you think that Goretzka is going to be the popular choice, with an ex-Bayern Munich manager, of course, as the manager. The right-back position is also a really, really big question mark for Germany. They have 2 real choices in terms of strategy. You've got Jonas Hoffmann, who is more of a right winger, but can also fill in at right wing back and has also played at right back in the past. Or they go for the more defensive option in Lucas Klostermann, who is sort of a hybrid between a right centre back and a right back. The problem Germany have is that they haven't got a balanced right back capable of doing both tasks. So they either have to have Hoffmann, who is excellent going forward but lacks physicality, or they have to go with Klostermann, who ticks boxes in terms of being a defensive fullback but lacks that finesse going forward. Personally, I think Hoffmann will start for Germany in the World Cup just by going off the performances for them recently, and Hansi Flick does seem to trust him. Flick also has deployed Hoffmann at right midfield at times as well, and he did that against England in September, so there's a different route for Hoffmann to get into the side. Another position with a question mark over it is the striker position. With no out-and-out striker, it feels like the days of Mario Gomez and Miroslav Klose are just so far behind them. And Germany for a long time have had strikers that are clutch, potent, clinical for their national team. They are showing a sort of a shocking lack of depth in this department, considering that it's a football giant, right? And you've got Kai Havertz, that looks most likely to start up front for Germany, and whilst he's brilliant technically and did score 2 against England in September, he's just not exactly a striker in terms of what you normally know. He doesn't really offer that backboard for Germany up front, which is a shame considering the quality they have in attacking midfield areas. And in terms of structure, Germany's formation is pretty rigid in the sense that players don't move about the pitch fluidly and instead stay in their position that you're going to see in your lineup before the game starts. However, this doesn't mean that they don't keep the ball well. In the Nations League, they average 65.5% possession. Having a very technically gifted double pivot means that it gives Germany a platform to keep the ball in the opposition half and with width. They often instruct Leroy Sané to come into the half spaces with Raum holding width on the left, in the left back position. And if they play Klostermann at right back, the right wing is often instructed to stay wider and to make the pitch as big as possible, with Musiala taking up spaces in the half space. The striker will always stay centrally and remain as that focal point. When it comes to tactical approach, everything flows through Kimmich. Not only is he the player that defenders look to give the ball to when transitioning through the thirds, but also he's the orchestrator in the middle of the park, and it just links the whole team together. In qualifying, he was averaging 123 touches per 90 over the 8 games that he played. He's also one of the only mentally resilient players in the team at present, reverberating that Bayern Munich mindset to the rest of the team. The tactics do change, however, if Thomas Müller starts, because Müller is taking up the 10 position. It often allows Sané to play a more central role, and if Müller starts, he's not as concerned as Musiala is in terms of picking up the ball and looking to create chances. Müller is a lot more likely to be focused on moving into the box and being on the end of a goal-scoring chance. However, this hasn't worked when they've tried it, and Musiala may be set to start ahead of Müller, and Müller could be that super sub for Germany this year. Let's talk about the Sané problem, because Sané is a bit of an enigma for Germany, and despite being a monster for Bayern Munich recently and dominating opponents in both the Bundesliga with 5 goals and 7 starts at the time of recording and the UCL 4 in 4, he seems to struggle for Germany. But because of his form, he's so hard not to start. So the problem with Sané seems like he doesn't really know what to do when he gets the ball. He sometimes drifts centrally from the left wing, but finds himself running into trouble a lot of the time. The problem is Hansi Flick wants to play Musiala and Sané together, but they often pick up similar positions, and it can get a bit congested in the midfield and also easier for the opposition to defend. So this means that Sané isn't able to use his explosive pace and ball carrying ability as much as he'd like. Key players, Jamal Musiala. If you haven't checked out the one to watch video of every single World Cup team, then that is on the channel right now. Make sure you do. But Musiala was the one to watch for Germany, and he offers a lot to this Germany side at the number 10 position. He's brilliant at moving the ball through tight spaces, and he picks up excellent positions in the final third. Musiala made 6 appearances in the Nations League, and he looked excellent at times, ghosting past defenders and allowing Germany to have a lot of key source creation in the centre of the pitch. He's also, of course, a Bayern player, which seems to be important with the German team. Let's make a prediction, shall we? If Germany win the World Cup, Joshua Kimmich will win Player of the Tournament. That's how important this guy is to this Germany side, and without him, they'd be lost, in my opinion. His presence and leadership qualities make him such a key cog in this side, and he also comes up big in the crucial moments. So, again, remember where you heard that first, if that does come to be and Germany do win it, because Kimmich is integral. So this is a mercurial Germany team that has the potential to play exciting and bold football. However, unlocking that is proving to be a tough ask for Hansi Flick. The problem with Germany of late is that they struggle to put the nail in the coffin, and it's hard to rely on them. You know, we saw in the Nations League that they failed to put matches to bed, despite controlling these matches most of the time, and I fully expect this Germany team to have at least one penalty shootout in this competition. They're a good side, but again, there's so many teams that could go and win it. Of course, I'm going to be doing my predictions, so I'll let you know who I think is going to win it when we get to that video. Make sure you don't miss that. If you don't want to miss that, hit the subscribe button. But let me know before that, if you're a Germany fan and you think you're going to do it this year, let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.